Welcome to my, Witcher 3 experience, and possibly the last, at least for some time. And I'm going to talk about something that's not really limited to The Witcher, but never is a good sign. The single session game. So, this is probably very personal for people. I mean, I don't even know if other people experience this as well. And if they do, it's probably, and what games you experience it with, is probably with very different games. Games that you just play one session of, and then don't touch it, at least for quite some time. And, I can't say if this really is a sign of a bad game, or that you just kinda don't play it right. But let me first tell about how this fits into The Witcher. So far, The Witcher to me has been a single session game. Okay, a very long session, for about bloody 5 days or so, still just one session. So I kinda had a moment of, fuck, I've been playing this game way too much. I really can't spend so much time on one bloody game. And I stopped playing it, haven't touched it since. It's been, I think, over a week now. Okay, for a story game, that is pretty bad. I mean, compare it to a book. A good book where you're in the middle of a story, or even the last part of the story, that is not the part you should be able to put a book down. You shouldn't be able to just then put the book away and don't look at it. Don't even think about picking it up again. I mean, that's one odd thing as well about The Witcher. I mean, how can you not have the idea constantly of starting to play the game again? I mean, I had that with... I mean, there are so many games, especially Bethesda games. I mean, Skyrim. I still think about playing Skyrim. Well, I played it quite recently again, and going to probably play Enroll very soon, which is very Skyrim-esque. But whenever I wasn't playing Skyrim, I mean, it wasn't that I was always thinking about Skyrim, but thinking about Skyrim was always a pleasant thing. It was always something of, yes, I'm in the mood for that. I mean, even Fallout 4 has that. I mean, I don't say Fallout 4 is bad, but damn do I hate that bloody game. Thinking about playing Fallout 4 is still a good thought for me. It's still something of, yeah, I'm in the mood for that. I don't have that in any way with The Witcher. I mean, another game I can compare that to is Borderlands 2. But, then I played on my own. Well, it is really a game you're supposed to play with others. So, yeah, maybe that's why that wasn't working for me, but, here, I don't care about playing it. And, how can this be? I mean the story. Okay, heavy spoilers now. Everyone who didn't play past, what I discussed in the last episode, go leave. But yeah, I have now faced that big dude in armor who killed Vesemir. I have convinced that other dude in the other realm that to not help the Wild Hunt anymore, to not send help, and I'm pretty sure I've also killed King, what's his name? The king you can kill, and I have done the quest for Triss and for Yen, and I don't feel like playing anymore. I mean, I stopped playing it, and since I stopped playing it, I didn't feel this urge to go play it again. I mean, what good game doesn't have that? What good game you can just put down and not care about it anymore? I mean, it might be that I just played it too much. That I played it... I mean, yeah, I've pretty much been playing it for 5 days. Just continuously from the morning to the evening, kind of forgetting to eat most of the time, getting to bed way too late, then getting a couple hours of sleep, and then in the morning start playing again. And so yeah, it basically has been one huge session, and after that I haven't touched it. So you can say, yeah, you're just burned out on it. I can't remember a game where I've burnt out on, that even after I burned out on it, I didn't want to play it again. I mean, I've burned out on Skyrim, well, at least, yeah, a couple of times I think. And then maybe an hour later, and this was really just burnout of, I'm so fucking sick of this bloody game. I know everything that's going to happen. It's all just the same boring shit. And yet, maybe an hour later or so, I could think, yes, Skyrim, you can do some cool things in that though. I would like to try that. And I didn't have... I mean, same with Fallout. I mean, there are so many things wrong with it, but still, thinking about maybe just working on a settlement, maybe a bit of shooting or something, modding a weapon. That's all just stuff that's, well, even after I save, fuck this sodding game. Especially after it crashes again, that I'm just so sick of. Then even an hour later of, yeah, it might crash again, but, well, it's still fun to do. I mean, this might also be a problem with The Witcher, which is something different that maybe factors in here. It never lightens up. I mean, there is not a moment of joy to be had in it. I mean, everyone is pretty much miserable all the time. Okay, yes, there are moments where you are happy, but, well, they're few and far between. I mean, a couple that stand out to me, or one that stands out to me, is the snowball fight that you have with Ciri. Okay, that was pretty interesting. That was one moment. I mean, the other moment, I think you're supposed to think about the... perhaps the stupid sex scenes, but, well... yeah, that really didn't add anything. I mean, sure, put it in your game, please do. I mean, if you think that adds to your game, please do so. It didn't here. Not for me, at least. I mean, it didn't add joy to the game. I mean, this is something that I'm going to praise something else for in hopefully not too long, but I won't promise anything. No idea how long it's going to take, but anyway. Yeah, just... you can do very serious stuff. I mean, that's very good. You can't do only very serious stuff. I mean, kind of the idea you give with that is, yeah, you need to mix this with something that's more lighthearted. And, well, when your game kind of says you should mix this with another game, that isn't really a good sign. And this doesn't mean it has to be humorous or so, that it has to tell jokes. But, well, I mean, look at Skyrim, that's just enjoyable for the most part. Well, I mean, everything about it, just discovering something interesting. That is always something interesting to do and have happen in Skyrim. It isn't here. Not really. I mean, the most fun I have had is just finding a new piece of equipment of a Witcher diagram. That is pretty much all I can think of, because all the other stuff, I mean, it's well made, but really saying that it is a ton of fun, just, I can't say it is. So, I don't know if it's just the case of it doesn't grip me, I've burned out on it, and for some reason it doesn't have a hook, all that is just too serious all the time. And maybe you can say that, oh, you're too immature, you can't handle continuously serious stuff. For one, fuck off. Two, well, even if that is the case, should you really be serious all the time? I mean, yeah, it probably fits with the story, but, well, if it's a story, if it's a story you don't want to read, then that still is a pretty shit story. So yeah, I really don't know about it, because at this point, I honestly can't even say if I recommend The Witcher. Okay, that's a pretty bad sign when you can't say if you recommend the game, especially when this is the game. If this wasn't The Witcher 3, I probably even wouldn't recommend it if it wasn't for a ton of people who did recommend it. And yeah, also a point against, oh, you can't handle continuously serious stuff. Have you seen my Dishonored playthrough? I've been miserable throughout that entire bloody thing. But yeah, I really kind of... I don't know how to feel about this, because there are a ton of good things about the game. Just look at my first, at pretty much all my other Witcher 3 reaction thingies. They are continuously say about how good it is, and here it's... yeah, I really don't know. It's a case of I have no idea where to stand on this, because there are so many good things about it, but then now I'm finding so many bad things about it. It's just really, well... I find it odd to say that I stopped caring about what many people call the best game of 2015. And how I almost wouldn't recommend the best game of 2015. Just saying that, saying I don't recommend The Witcher 3, probably is something you'll never hear anywhere else, because, well, it's such a great game. One other point, people who say that the game doesn't have, that it's one huge open world, you never have to load anything. Sorry, bollocks. Yes, there are very large places of open world, and you can go inside building without a loading screen. Going to Skelliger is a loading screen. Going to the palace that the Nilfgaardians have taken over is a loading screen. Going to Kaer Morhen is a loading screen. There are loading screens in this game. It is just that, well, large parts of it are open. And, well, some people will probably say well, that doesn't count, that pretty much is one huge open world. That's pretty much the Ubisoft open world. And it's not like this is the same kind of... Skyrim would be very hard with this kind of open world, because, well, here for instance, Skyrim has a lot of caves and stuff like that. Here a bandit camp is maybe 4 dudes or something. In Skyrim it's a huge building. But it can probably be done, but, well, it doesn't have crypts and something like Skyrim does. So yeah, that's just a minor little rant on the idea of, yeah, it has no loading screen, so it's amazing, and the next Bethesda game should have that, because The Witcher 3 can, because, well, The Witcher 3 can't, and it's, for the most part, probably way easier on the system. Because The Witcher doesn't have layers on top of layers on top of layers. Very impressive that they can make the cities running. That is probably very hard. I still get, I get pretty shit frame rate, but I don't get shitter frame rate in the cities. So, yeah, that's impressive. But don't say that the game doesn't have any loading screens or something when it so obviously does. I mean, especially at points when, I mean, in the end you're just constantly jumping around and yeah, loading screens galore. But yeah, I really don't know where to stand on The Witcher now, because I do think that it's a great game, but I mean, this isn't even like Fallout, where it's just, yeah, it's a good game, but, well, it isn't a good Fallout game, because, well, it is a good Witcher game, it's just that it also does some things, I think, so stupidly. Yeah, I'm so happy I don't do reviews and stuff like that, because, well, for one, I don't have the enough experience with games to really say, to make a fair judgment. And, well, then I won't be in a situation like this where it's just, yeah, this is a good game. I can't recommend it. But yeah, yeah. I really don't know where to stand on The Witcher at the moment, because there are so many good things about it, but at the same time, I'm finding so many problems, and the problems have been becoming bigger and bigger. I mean, at the start it was just, oh, I don't like how you can't select more than one quest at a time, which was annoying. And it still is annoying, but oh well. Now I'm coming to problems that really, I'm saying, this isn't just annoying, this isn't just odd game design, no, this is bad. This isn't well thought out. I mean, I'm currently, yeah, at times I'm watching parts of how Gopher plays The Witcher, just to kind of see of how does someone else look at this and think about this, but, well, because I really don't know how to feel and stand on it at the moment, because it has been so amazing at the start and then plummets so hard, and now, I mean, how can a game as big as this not even, I mean, I have been thinking about it, sure. I mean, I have been thinking about The Witcher, yeah, about this episode, not about wanting to play it again, because, I mean, I don't even care where the story is going. How bad is that? I mean, the main praising thing for The Witcher was it is a open world game with story as good as a very good single player game, where I don't give a fuck about where the story is going. Yeah, I really don't know where to stand on it anymore. This has been Vinix, hoping he won't be crucified, saying farewell.